Hey, 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 how's everybody doing?
Hey, everybody. This is
Hey,
Lisa.
everybody. And Faith, yes.
And you're listening to the Vet on This or That podcast.
Yes, Vet on This or That. It is our podcast. And yeah, we like to think of us as a potpourri of shit. Just the shit that we
Look at
go
that.
through on a regular basis. Not even on a regular basis. I want to say that we go through shit on a regular basis, but this is shit that we've gone through in life after we have transitioned from being in the military and coming back home. So yeah, so we're in a 20-year transition. I chuckle when I say that 20-year transition because folks gonna be like, well, what the hell is their problem? But yeah, the 20-year transition just from being home from the military, being overseas in Iraq. So yeah, so here's our podcast. Lisa, what are we talking about?
Today we are this episode's titled Rock With Ya. And we're just going to be discussing who we allow in our circle of trust. I feel like we should have had some music once I said circle of trust. Da, 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 like some kind of music.
Oh my goodness.
Who do you allow? You know, we're going to tell you who we allow, but who do you allow in your circle, in that circle of trust? And I think the people that I would need in my circle of trust, people who give me like a sense of community with them, where I feel safe, I'm comfortable enough to be myself, and
Absolutely.
I would need them to be able to give me some unbiased feedback about myself.
Okay.
You know, people that can hold me accountable and tell me those uncomfortable truths for my own good. Those are the type of people that I would need in my circle of trust. People who can encourage me and help me to strive to achieve whatever goals that I've set for myself. Those are the type of people that I need in my circle of trust. And you know what? I keep using that word trust, and what I've learned, because I always was one of those people that would say, you know, you got to earn my trust. You have to earn my trust. When actually I've learned that we were taught, you know, that we should be telling people, or that we should think that people should earn our trust. Because actually, trust is something that we grant to people, that we give to them freely.
Yes.
We give it to them until, like, I'm gonna give you this trust until you give me reason not to trust you. Like, I trust you until you prove me that I was wrong. And people that know me know that I'm not a big cartoon person, but I used to watch a lot of SpongeBob. And yes, people.
I don't hard to believe, but okay, it's the grandchildren, isn't it? Yeah.
No, I think it was, no, I don't think it was the grandchildren. You know, it was one episode on there that when was it Patrick? No, Squidward. He was kind of, you know, muscular. Squidward, he was just real that was like my favorite episode. But anyway.
But sidebar. Sidebar, I know the episode.
See how fast we get off track? But anyway, I was using that because in one of the episodes, what my favorite episode, but one episode I do remember that SpongeBob said something to Patrick along the lines like, what happens, you know, what would you do, or what would happen if I betrayed your trust or whatever? And Patrick said to SpongeBob, now this is a cartoon, but Patrick said to SpongeBob, trusting you is my decision. Proving me wrong is your choice. So yeah, trusting you is my decision, but proving
That
me
is deep.
wrong is your. I know, and that came
That
from
is deep.
SpongeBob. It came from SpongeBob.
Who
So
that's transcendental. Like what?
that's that master's degree coming out of you. Listen to the words.
That's like other level SpongeBob. That's SpongeBob
That's adult
deep point
SpongeBob.
oh. Like he was deep.
Yeah,
Oh
he
my
said,
goodness.
trusting you is my decision. Proving me wrong is your choice. So that's why I said that, like, we don't actually, you don't, people can't earn our trust.
Mm.
That's something that we give to them, we grant to them freely until they give us reason to
Wow.
say, for you to actually to prove me wrong. That I trusted you until you gave me reason and you proved me wrong. Now you're not
Wow.
trustworthy. You're not trustworthy.
That's
So,
that's deep.
so
Like I'm like, who have I been giving my trust out to? Like now, the wheels are turning. Like,
yeah. I mean, we trust people, without really knowing. But I mean, you trust people with your secrets. So these are people like you guys. These are people that I have in my circle. You have to be able to trust them with your secrets. You have to be able to trust them with your life.
Wow.
You have to be able to trust them. Listen, with your spirit, with your inner being. You have to. So we give this to people. So when I say, you and I, we decide me and you are friends. We friends now. I don't have to, sit down and say, Faith, okay, since we're friends, like you got to sign this NDA, or this is what I require of you. If I say, Faith, XYZ, telling you my secrets, I shouldn't have to tell you, hey, Faith, don't tell Jean. Make sure you don't tell Amanda. Don't tell this person, because we already know. I trust you enough to know that certain things that I tell you, you're not going to tell until you give me reason. You see? So these are the people that I have in my circle of trust. And listen, just because I made it and I put it out there and made it sound so pretty, tied up in a bow like that, it ain't easy to be my friend. Isn't that right, Faith?
I'm sorry. Did she say it's not easy to be her friend?
It's not easy
She
to be
ain't
my
never
friend.
lied. She ain't never lied. No, I'm joking when I say that. But you know what? I will co-sign on that, because when I first met you, okay, and this is back in 2003 over at in Jersey City, right? So when I first met Lisa, it was like Lisa was very standoffish at first. Like
Hello,
I'm
New York.
It's like she was just like, let me pick and choose which one I want around my circle. But then, or what in my space, not even the circle, because we didn't have circle then, because everybody was coming in at the time, coming into my unit at least. And so now, if you don't want to talk about circles and trust and everything like that, and you being standoffish, yes. But I would say that when Amber came in, she broke those barriers. So I don't know what she did with you, but it's just like, Amber's here. You will be my friend. You're in my circle now.
Whether you want to or not.
Yeah, well, how Amber would say, you're in my circle now, whether you like it or not. So yes, I would say my perception was that Lisa was very standoffish, and my thing is, I'm like, if you're gonna be like that, then I just won't deal with you. But the small interactions that we did have, just very briefly, was, I don't know, I can't even remember. Okay, so we had the water gun fight. I don't know if you remember that one.
I definitely do not.
Wow. Okay. That's another story for another time. That was one interaction.
Sorry, people. I don't remember that.
But it was a good one though. But that was just a small interaction.
You're gonna have to refresh my memory.
I will, offline. It wasn't anything crazy. We were just doing combat, I guess combat commando, whatever you want to call it. We were just out there with our super soaker water guns, and we were just out there.
I participated.
You did not participate, but I did accidentally shoot. I accidentally shot you.
How do you accidentally shoot somebody? Like
somebody got in my way. Somebody got in my way. I pulled the trigger, and there you were behind them. So it was by accident.
Was I upset?
Yes, very much so.
That's the least I know and love.
Very much so. And I gave it, and so much so that in order to appease you, I gave you my super soaker, and I said, just go ahead, just have at it. And you sure enough, without hesitation, yeah.
You know, I'm sorry. I don't remember that. I really don't. Wow.
Yeah, that was one of my interactions with you. I mean, but you were cool with it. Like you got not upset to the point where just you was cussing or anything like that. But you took pride in your uniform. Like your uniform was very, very pressed, very creased. You took pride in your uniform. You just like, wait a minute, wait to see this problem. Y'all over here playing army. You guys over here playing army.
At that point, people, Faith was not a part of my circle.
I was not. I was not, and she was not a part of mine. Even though the catalyst between our circles was Amber, we were in two very separate circles.
Wow.
But
and look at us now.
Yeah, look at honey.
You know what? Sidebar. I'm sorry, people. I am. If I appear not to be myself, which I think I am, I'm trying to get used to. I just got my hair cut, and I'm trying to get used to this short hair thing. And you might see me like doing this the whole time.
Trying to stretch it out.
Trying to stretch it out. Like, girl, where my hair?
Where's the length? Where's the length?
And I'm just getting over a cold, so I'm doing a lot of sniffling, but
it's okay.
I wanted to put that out there because I don't want people to be in our comments about what happened to her hair.
Well, it was braided the last time.
Yeah, it's been braided for a while, and when I took the braids out, this is about the time of year anyway when I like to chop my hair off and start fresh.
That's how you know spring is coming.
Lisa cuts her hair, spring is coming.
Spring is coming. 4 more weeks of winter.
I'm the groundhog now. I'm sorry. Listen, we always getting off track. We going back to the circle of trust. And again, think about another disclaimer like I'm putting out here all the time. Listen, if we appear to be happy, guess what, people? That's because we are.
Absolutely. This rain on my parade.
We are having a great time. And in case I don't see this enough, thank you guys. Thank you. We appreciate you.
Yes, thank you so much for subscribing and putting up with this tomfoolery. But no.
Shenanigans of the Faith and Lisa show.
Yeah, we ain't even vetting on this or that anymore. We just Faith and Lisa show. That's the podcast after dark.
Yes. You know what? Listen, digging the wheels again.
No, I'm sorry. Let me not do the one. Let me do one. The wheels are turning. The wheels are turning.
Podcast after dark. I mean, that would be really good too.
Vet on after dark.
Vet on after dark. That's when Faith really gonna let loose, and y'all gonna be here. Because I'm not a big cusser. Like I don't cuss. I sound old school too. Cuss. I don't.
She don't cuss
like that.
She don't cuss around y'all.
Yeah.
No, she not.
I'm more of the sexual person. Like I like to talk about sex. Oops, sorry.
After dark, vet on after dark.
Right, that's after dark. That was a plug to get y'all to watch too. If y'all you see how I worked that right on in there?
Wheels are turning.
Shout out to my siblings. They gonna be seeing this and be like, my baby sister. Hey, McCord land.
McCord land.
McCord.
Hey, McCord. I didn't put her up to it. I'm the good one. I did not put her up to it.
Now y'all know that's not true. Y'all heard enough about us to know. You didn't hear a lot.
We influence each other.
We are both. We just we're a mess. What did Neo say? We are movement by ourselves, but we are
Well,
forced
force when we're together.
Hashtag to Neo, in case somebody wanna, let Neo know we mentioned him in this.
Absolutely. Get me tickets to the Super Bowl.
This rock with you episode had we done
went off.
But we're back. We're
back. Listen, we gotta have fun somewhere. I'm like,
that's right.
We're here. But I was saying, okay, the circle, right? But every time I think about the circle of trust, all I have in my mind is Meet the Parents and the whole circle of trust. Yeah, the whole circle of trust. Yeah, Fokker, you're out.
You know what I just thought about too? We're talking about circle of trust, and I mentioned SpongeBob SquarePants. Isn't that funny? I just thought I would.
This is how we get off track. This is how we get off track. But that is funny though.
Watching my person, because she gets me. People, she gets me.
Yeah. Yes, yeah. If I can't get anybody else, I'll get her.
Okay, crying over here and stuff.
Okay. They're like, what is up with them? What's in the water?
What's in the Starbucks? Because I'm drinking Starbucks. Not a sponsor.
I just drank some water. It might be water. I drank water, so if I water. Okay, so yeah. Rock with your circle of trust. So I guess I can be somewhat particular who I let in my circle of trust. I am, and I was doing this with my sorority some time ago. We were talking about different types of people. So, you have the extroverts, introverts, and omniverts. I am omnivert. So, extroverts are the people who like to go out and, get connected and bring in people, and, they like people energy. Introverts, on the other hand, they like to be more to themselves and, keep it cool, play it calm, or whatever. And then there's myself. I'm an ambivert. Whereas I love to have my fill of people, but when I'm done, you must leave my circle.
Bye-bye.
But not necessarily my circle, but my space. You must leave my space. So yeah. So in saying that, people who I let into my circle, I observe. I'm an observer. So I look around, I see what's going on, what, who I feel I can vibe with and everything like that. And then, eventually we attract into each other's space. So I think that's what happened between you and myself. We weren't so much, in the mood to find each other.
We were filling out each other.
We're filling each other out, so to speak. And I think that second time around is where, oh, hey, I know Lisa. Oh, hey, I know Faith. And okay, we'll be in each other's space. But still in the process of filling each other out, because again, we just reconnected after about 6 months or so. Yeah.
6 months and
yes. And like I said earlier, the catalyst was Amber. So it kind of like, in my mind, I'm like, okay, if Amber trusts her, then I trust her. So that's how I kind of like wanted to gravitate more to you, because I was like, okay, Amber is good with her, so I'm going to be good with her too.
Right.
Until she's bad with Amber, I'm good with But that was never the case, because I never got a chance to really know who you were in our first deployment. This was an opportunity to find out more about, my favorite person in the world, Lisa, and knowing who she is, how grounded she is, how for others she's not self-centered, she's very other-centered. So how I saw her, like, protecting those who she cared about. That's why I think we're in each other's circle, because we kind of do the same thing. Like, of course, a catalyst again, Amber. So if anything happened to Amber, we were gung ho GI Joe. What do you mean something happened to Amber?
Absolutely.
You did it, and so we would always, fight for her. And that's how we kind of got connected and everything. And I guess really just wanted to be in each other's space.
Yeah.
And I can tell you stories when I say when I first fell in love with Lisa. And I will share, it's not a big story, it's just a small story. I just saw Lisa's vulnerability, and and I knew that, as hardcore queens as she is, there's a softer side to her, and it's just that she doesn't show it to anybody except those who she's comfortable being around.
Yeah.
So that's one of the reasons why you're in my circle. That's some of the reasons why you're in my circle.
And that's absolutely correct. I think for myself, I think that I am the nicest person until I'm not. But I think that might be for everybody. But for me, is all about, you see these certain people or how they interact. And like I said, I saw you guys, how you interact. And like she said, we met in 2003 when I was put in her unit. And we were stuck at Fort Dix for those 181 days doing CT training people. And but I knew who I was dealing with because I see how everybody reacted to whomever and how they reacted to me. And when we got those orders to go to Iraq, certain people that I knew were going to be there, and I was familiar with them. So I go all with familiarity. You know what I'm trying to say. Familiarity too, but I was familiar with Faith and familiar with certain people. So of course I'm gonna gravitate to them because I already knew what they were about. Maybe we weren't as close, but I already knew who I was dealing with. So it was easy for me to focus just on these group of people because I was familiar with them. Honestly, I had no idea that a love affair per se would grow would grow and blossom as much as it did, because what you guys don't really know is that, again, Faith and I were in the same unit, but we were in different platoons. So it's different platoons in a unit. But overall, we were in the same company, same unit, however you want to say it, but we were in different platoons. So you separate people in both platoons because there's so many of us. Everybody can't do the same thing. So she was in third platoon, and I was in second platoon. And so they had details that they were on jobs, and so did we. But whenever we could be together, Faith and I did everything together whenever we could.
Yes.
And it was because at that time, she was my person. I don't know if I was hers, but she was my person.
Hello, boo-boo buddy. Boo-boo buddy.
That was my story. Like, you guys don't notice. We literally went to the bathroom together.
Yes.
Sat in the stalls next to each other and held hands sometimes if needed. Underneath the stall. Don't judge us. We were in a hostile environment.
But when your kid has to poo, right? And sometimes you gotta hold their hand because they're like, it's just too much. It's too much. Mommy, hold my hand.
So Faith and I whenever we could steal away time because again, we were in different platoons. So we didn't go on missions together. We really very rarely saw one another. Because she could have been at the camp and I was out on a mission and vice versa. And so we didn't really see each other that often. But when we did, because did we live in the same tent? Did we stay in the same tent?
We did. When I came back, when I came up from Kuwait.
Yeah, we slept in the same tent. But though we were in different platoons, so we didn't see each other often. So whenever we did, we stole away some time, just whether it's to eat chow, to go to the bathroom, just to catch up. And personally, I just needed, for myself and my own sanity, I needed to make sure she was good. That was my
Same
whole
here.
thing. I just needed to
Same
make
here.
sure she was good because she was that person in my circle. Yeah, I made sure all of my soldiers was good, you know.
Yes.
But
Yes.
and even though she outranked me, she was still my soldier and I was still her soldier.
Absolutely. I mean, listen, when you just have that person that, like balances
Yes.
your inner imbalance. I don't want to say crazy. I didn't want to say crazy, but I'm gonna speak for me to have that person that balances my inner crazy. Yes, yes. So
We need that.
it's yes, definitely need that because sometimes you could be on like level 5, and then all of a sudden somebody takes you to level 20, and then Lisa comes in and be like, "Well, why are you acting like that?" And you're like, and then you come back down to like at least level 6 or 7. You're still a little upset, but Lisa puts it in like she'll always talk to me in her perspective when I'm just like, well, I want to stay mad. Okay, stay mad, but you're going to be like this mad.
or if somebody said or did something that she didn't like and she's trying to process it, because Faith is nicer than I am. I don't know if y'all know that. And she would be like trying to process, and I just be wanting to go and get at them. Tell me where they
at. Yeah, you have to like, whew, if she on 10, you gotta be on 5. If I'm on 10, she gotta be on 2. Like that's just how it worked. Like I can't, if she got mad every time I got mad, there would be a lot of black eyes.
There would have been, we would have been in OIF, OEF, and somebody OF something else.
Oh my God.
OMG.
OMG. Oh my OMG.
We've been 3 wars. OIF, OEF, and OMG. But see, that's how we work too. And you guys, we feed off of one another. We've always been like that. I don't know. The connection has just been there. And of course, we have to feed it, like nurture it and maintain it also. But we do it unknowingly.
I mean, remember there was a time where we would always have that gap where we don't talk or anything like that. And then as soon as we get on the phone or whatever, or we got around each other, it was just, I don't know. And then next thing you know, we're just laughing. Like right now, I have a headache because this always happens. This always happens when I get around her. And she's only one of us. Like there's still like 2 other people. There's 2 other people. There's 4 altogether. There's 2 other people. And she's just one out of the group. And I'm like, oh my goodness. And right now I have a frontal headache because it's wow. It's just this relationship is one of the best relationships I've ever been in.
Listen, and I agree. I agree. Yes. And the best thing is that these beautiful ladies, they love hard. They're honest. And when I tell you I can trust you guys with my life, of course you already know that, but I trust them with my life, like life decisions. And I know that when I'm going way left, there is always, if not one, all of them, they will always reel me back in. They will, and one thing I have to say that I love about this circle is that we don't pass judgment on people. We don't pass judgment on each other, that especially something that's going to hurt our feelings. Like, and if we have a problem with something that someone did or said, we come together and we discuss it and we move forward. We move forward. This is a group thing. Like we're not we're individuals in the group, but this is a group thing. Like we do a lot of stuff together. We do a lot of things, without each other. But I don't know. It's just something about this circle that I love to rock with. That's it. Rock with you. It's just something about these ladies that money couldn't buy. Money couldn't buy this experience, and money could not buy this relationship that we all have. Money, like this is something that I can honestly say money couldn't buy it. This relationship is way beyond something that I could have ever imagined. And I don't have to be anybody other than me And they know everything about me. Like, so
yeah.
Friends for over 20 years, they know everything about me, and vice versa. And I don't have to pretend. I don't have to. I just come with me, my genuine self, and they accept me, flaws and all. And
Flaws
that's
and
what I
all.
love. That's what I love
Flaws
about this. That's what I
Yes.
love about this relationship. Yes.
Yeah. So there was something that was on my mind. It's coming back to me. I'm trying to remember what it was. But as I'm trying to remember, I can honestly say that, like, with the relationship that I've fostered with these three fabulous women, it's you have your biological sister, or you have somebody in your family that's biological, and then you have your friends that just like fill in all the other gaps. And I'm not saying anything about my sister. I love my sister, but I can't have a relationship with her. I mean, I can if I wanted to, but it's just like, it's something about these three women that just like throws me for a whole nother, um thought process in my life, because they're my cheerleaders, they're my uh they're the mirrors I don't want to look at. And I think I said this before, and I think that's what I want to say. They're the three mirrors I don't like looking at, because they hold my truth. No judgment at all. No judgment at all. Absolutely. Because when they tell me what it is that they have to tell me, or what I need to know, it comes with a level of respect. I still respect you if you choose not to hear what I have to say, or you don't take my advice, or whatever. I still will respect you, and on top of that, I will support you. So if I said I wanted to, I don't know, be a skydiver, and I know that's I'm scared of heights, but I just want to do it because it just sounds good, because everybody else is doing it. My girls will turn around and say, like, no, I don't know, Faith. You can try it. I don't know, because you've never went to school for that before. You can try it, but if that's what you want to do, I'll support you.
I'll support you. Absolutely.
I got the gurney at the bottom. Go skydive, girl. Go skydive.
I want one on speed dial.
And my sister would be the one to, like, she would support. Well, first she would, no, not even support. No, she just told me, "Nah, you stupid."
Why would you want to do that?
You stupid. Why would you want to do that? Is you crazy? Where's your faculties? Where's your faculties? And my sister is very black and white. She's in my circle. Don't get me wrong. Yes. She's in my circle. Okay. I just don't hang with her like at the level of craziosity. And that's my word. I made it up and I'm gonna use it. That level of craziosity that I have.
Master's degree.
Yes, I choose to make up a new word, craziosity. But my sister comes to me as an older sister, so she's going to talk to me as an older sister, and me being her youngest sister. Excuse me. So, but these ladies, they're like, no judgment, girl. If you think you're gonna be safe, go ahead, go do it. Yeah. But I got the gurney at the bottom in case something happens. So, excuse me. And I too wanted to give a list of some characteristics of people that you need in your circle, which I thought was super awesome. Yeah, I don't know. I think you and I looked at the same website, because there were some things that you had in there that mirrored what I was going to say. So there's 9 characteristics you should look for.
I hope I have for people in this inner circle.
Yeah. When I go through the 9, you go ahead and pick out the ones you think that you fit in, and I'll let you know if you're right or not. If I'm
right. Let's go.
Let's go. Okay, so you have the co-striver, someone who is working to achieve something similar to you. Hello, podcast.
Yes, that's right. I think cha-ching.
Okay, cha-ching. You have the super connector. I love this title. They know everyone and everyone knows them.
I think
they
that's
can
me too.
introduce you to the right people.
Hey, hello, Lisa.
Ding, 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 ding.
Ring that bell.
Ring that bell. Then you have number 3, the champion, your cheerleader, and someone who believes in you.
Yes,
I wear that.
Yes,
I wear that. I wear that proudly.
Too. Yes,
yes. Oh, absolutely. I think all 4 of us are cheerleaders for each other. Yeah, let me tell you, when I do that, I put my heart into it. But then I always get disappointed when they seem to like back out. But that's just me. That's another story for another time. Then you have number 4, the re-energizer, a person you can call when you need a boost of energy and inspiration. The re-energizer.
That's you. Is that me?
I don't know. That's both of us.
That's both of us. Okay.
You want to claim? I'll claim it too. Okay. Now here's my favorite. Now I'm going to 100% say this is Lisa, the mentor. Oh. A person more experienced with wisdom to share and desire. Well, that came out wrong. Let's try that again. The mentor, a person more experienced with wisdom to share and desire to help you succeed. Oh. Isn't that number 6, the sponsor, a leader who will take charge to advocate for you and your career advancement opportunities. I do that.
We both like.
Yeah, I think so too. But that's in my job. That's my job title. Yeah, okay. That's my job description. Just an occupation, because like I have to do that with my team. Right, okay. Come on, team, we could do it. Right. You could do it. Where you want to go, I'll take you there. Now, you said this before, the community. Yes. I love this one. Anywhere you feel a sense of belonging and a safe space to be yourself.
Absolutely.
Yes. You 4 are my community. You 4 are my community. Yes. Number 8, the accountability partner, the person holding you responsible, your tough love.
I think that might be Amber.
That might be Amber. I feel as though it is. I think, you know what, we all take on. We all take on. Yeah, I think we all at some point take on that.
Yes, we all hold these characteristics accountable. Yes.
So yeah, there's no way I'm going to have about 9 people in my circle. That's just right crazy. But so then the last one is the diverse perspective, the person or persons who are really great at what they do, but they don't look like you. Your backgrounds and education. Oh, you share the same background, education, or the same network. Diana.
Mm-hmm.
Diana.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
If and when you meet her, she just like us. Jean, till this day, even though Diana is Mexican, Jean till this day still says Diana, the black girl, the light-skinned black girl.
The light-skinned black. Let me tell y'all a quick story about Diana. She'll tell y'all when she gets on. But so the first time we met Diana, of course, was in El Paso, Texas, at Fort Bliss, and she was in my platoon. And I was in charge of her. I was her sergeant. I was the person. She was in my squad, and I was the person that she had to report to for whatever. But I didn't really know her. She was really young. And one day we were sitting in the chow hall. I don't know what we were in there for. We were, hadn't went to Iraq yet. We were in Texas, and one of the soldiers in my platoon had said something, and I think he told Diana to shut up or something. Next thing I know, this chick jumped over the table and had him by the throat. She was ready to bang him out. And I'm just sitting there. I ain't jumping in. I'm sitting back, and I'm like, and I was telling somebody else, I was like, ooh, I like her. She a hot-headed Puerto Rican, not knowing that she was Mexican. I said, oh, I want to be her friend.
Oh my goodness.
Just running off at the mouth, just putting people in categories just because I didn't
Yeah.
know anything about her other than she was in my platoon and
She was a hot-headed Latina.
I called her a hot-headed Puerto Rican. And that just intrigued me. Don't ask me why. But I was like, ooh, I want to be her friend. Yeah, we definitely gonna get along just fine. That was the first experience I had of Diana and her temper or what she wouldn't accept from people.
Yes. Yes.
You ain't gonna just disrespect.
Yes.
Saw first class. She was saw first, but back then she was just a private.
Yeah, wasn't she? She was a specialist, right? I think.
No, she was a private.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Oh,
no,
wow. She came a long way.
She came a long way. She saw first class now. Put some respect.
Put some respect on her name. Mm-hmm.
She saw first class now. But you guys will get to meet her. Just like you'll get to meet Amber.
Yes.
And that will probably have to be an hour episode. Or what we'll probably do, it probably will be a part 1 and a part 2 because
because it's a lot.
Together, it's a lot. Yeah, we have to. We will just all of a sudden loudly burst out in the song, burst out in something from a movie, and
we'll forget that we have a podcast altogether.
We will forget that we are on here doing a podcast.
That will be on the next episode of Vet on After Dark.
And we talk about 4 different women, 4 different personalities.
Mm-hmm.
And so to get the 4 of us together on one show is gonna be epic.
Very, very.
But you guys, I promise you're gonna enjoy it. You're gonna want more. You're gonna want more
at least,
more.
Yeah. At least with the 4 of us all together, you will always get more.
Oh yeah, that circle. And again, it's not scripted. So
it's not scripted.
Get what you get, people.
It's
not for everybody.
Some of those parts definitely gonna go on the Vet on After Dark.
Yeah, it's gonna have to. It's gonna have to. Because the dialogue is gonna be uncontrollable.
Yeah.
Uncontrollable. But you're gonna love it.
What I liked about the circle, what they discussed, one of the things that they discussed was community, the one with the community. And I'm sorry, I'm jumping back into the list. And with the fact that it says anywhere you feel a sense of belonging and a space to be yourself. Like how many people in your life can you say that about? Like, you allow me to be. Listen, I'm not talking about, folks who just let you be ghetto ratchet.
Not those people.
Good and hood. Right. I'll talk about those people. I'm talking about when you are your most lowest or your highest, or you're somewhere in between, fair and in the middle. If I'm saying that right. That they allow you to just get off your chest the thing that is bothering you, or the thing that is making you like at your peak and everything like that. And it could be, you could be in love and they could just be like, they'll allow you to be in love and just like la down, the aisle and everything like that. But they're also the ones that's going to check you when when you're not paying attention to the world around you because you've been so consumed with love, or you've been consumed with depression, or consumed with whatever is happening to you at that moment. And they'll say, okay, all right, no problem. You're feeling depressed, go ahead and be depressed. I'm gonna allow you to be depressed, but what you're not gonna do, you're not gonna sit in it.
Yes.
Once I see that you're coming up out of it, my job now is to come in to make sure that you don't go back there anymore. So that way I can tell you that, okay, I understand that you're going through X, Y, and Z. and I'm gonna allow you to be in this state for now. But do yourself a favor and don't stay in that state.
Right.
However you feel right now is however you feel right now. But as you're coming out of it, you need to recognize you coming out of it as well. And you need to, allow me to, lift your spirits. Don't be so consumed by what's happening in your world that you don't allow the person, your community, to come in and, kind of get you back into place. Because again, it's that balance. Everybody is that balance for each other. Lisa is that balance for me. I hope I'm that balance for her. Amber and Diana is that balance for all of us together. So that's why there's like 4 of us together, and there's like each person is on the. If you put us on a spectrum, we're on a spectrum that counters the other person, that balances, like homeostasis, the whole family. Yeah, that's one of them graduate words too.
Master's degree again, people.
I bought it. I'm gonna use it. I got to use it. Yeah. So and I just think that when you have that person in your life, they become your community, they become your go-to person. They're your sun up, sun down. They're your ride or die. Like, you can call them any time of the day and they'll pick up the phone without hesitation. So yeah, I just love that word in the list of characteristics that, being in your circle, you have to have somebody who's your community, or have people who represent your community. So, yeah,
and that's what I said too. It's just very important to have people who give you that sense of community with them, so that you do feel that safe place, that safe space, and you're comfortable within them and within that community. So for me too, that community thing, that's very, very important, because the 4 of us together, this dynamic that we've cultivated, this dynamic that we've been watering for a long time. A lot of people don't realize, we've, like I said, we've experienced some things together that in a normal relationship, we wouldn't have. Being overseas and fighting in a war together, that I think even if we didn't try, there's a bond. So we have a bond with everybody who was overseas in the war fighting with the 736. We bonded with them. We just have a different type of bond, me and these 3 ladies, because we were going to have a bond regardless. But this bond, the reason why it's different is because we took the time to water it. We've worked on this, and we put in some work.
Yes.
With this. The other bonds that we have, we didn't have to put in work. We didn't have to water it, because the bond was there regardless, because we went through this life experience that we hadn't went through with anyone else. So we didn't have to put in work for that. That bond is there with my other 736 soldiers, brothers and sisters. We have a bond. We have a relationship. It doesn't matter. Nobody can take that from us. I love those guys. But with these ladies, we put in work. We wanted and cultivated this.
Yeah.
The bond was there, but we've done extra work. And that's why we could actually sit here and say that, we've literally been friends for 20 years.
Yeah. Like it goes back to our conversation in our episode 4, where we talked about, love languages and things like that. Now, when we spoke about love languages, we talked about, words of affirmation, physical touch, quality time, and acts of service. I think there was another one I'm missing in there. But anyway, of those languages, Lisa spoke about us cultivating the relationship. Just think about, we're in a relationship just as women sisters or sister women, and we have to do that same type of bonding, that language of love that you would do with your significant other. We're doing that with each other. So
Exactly.
when I say this love affair, I talk about the four women, the four of us. I say this love affair because it didn't take long for us to fall in love with each other and just say, hey, that's my
Wow.
sister, that's my world, that's my community, that's my rock right there, that's my balance right there. It didn't take us long to have that. Once we've built that foundation of what it was that drew us together, once that foundation was built, I think everything else started piling on to build this nice little
Right.
circle and this nice little house that we have going on. Yeah. Is our relationship perfect? No, by
No,
no means. By no means.
not at all.
There have been instances when I didn't speak to Amber, for whatever stupid reason. It is what it is. There are times like
Yeah,
Lisa may have been,
we spoke on that before too, because it was
yeah,
a time where I didn't speak to Amber.
yeah. Like you may have not spoken to me. I don't think we've ever had that relationship.
No.
But you could have been, miffed at me or whatever reason. I may have been miffed at you or whatever reason. But if we did not have that, then this relationship would be phony.
Phony,
It
fake,
would be absolutely
absolutely.
phony. Then there's no way in the world that I
Yeah.
would want to hold my tongue and say that, hey Lisa, I love you, but I ain't agree with everything that you said.
Right.
And
Right.
you the same to me. And
Yeah.
respectfully so. I wouldn't want a day to go by where I'm upset with Lisa and I don't talk to her. Like,
Right.
I would talk to everybody else before I talk to her. They'll be like, listen, Lisa made me mad. Daggone it. Well, did you talk to her? No. Well, how about you go talk to her? Think about it. I'd end up talking to her. I wouldn't let the sun set on our relationship.
Absolutely. Because it means that much. And like I said before, I think all of us are blessed to have found one another, and we have this little circle that we've built, and for me it's amazing that you can find three other people who are different than you but the same as you. Does that make sense?
That makes
Different
sense.
but the same.
I
mean, Cora's crazy, but we laugh at the same stuff over and over and over. Like,
oh, like, wait, we heard this story before, but it's still funny. It's
still funny. When you guys get the opportunity, and it will be soon, I promise, to see the four of us interact together.
Yeah.
It's amazing. I look forward to watching it after the fact because see, I'm in the midst of it, so I know how we interact together. But like even with the podcast that we're doing, I forget once we do them. I forget, so I have to go back and watch it before we air them. And I look at Faith and I together, and it's like.
it's kind of funny.
It's funny, like, and I'll look at an episode over and over, and I'll crack, knowing that it's coming up because I did it and I watched it, and I just crack myself. I'm like, I am the funniest. Like we are hilarious. Like we in the wrong profession. We should have been comedians.
We should have been comedians, but God knew what He was doing.
He knew what He was doing. Because I say I should have been a singer too, but they are my friends.
Oh, I'm sorry. Y'all didn't see my face.
I told y'all that before. I can't sing, but it doesn't mean I won't sing.
But you know what? I would cheer her on anyway.
She does too.
As
with a sour face, but she's still. And you know what the great thing about Faith being your friend and you not being able to sing? Faith can sing. And so she will, every now and again, if she knows the words, she'll step in and try to help her sister out.
only if I know the words. I hold a note. It's hard. It's hard to say that, Faith can sing because I get very like tight lips to sing. It takes a minute. It takes a minute. I don't show that. I do not show that side of myself.
I'm telling y'all, Faith can sing.
It's scary,
but I will. I will.
All the time.
I can't. I am an entertainment magnet, people.
Oh my goodness. She's entertainment all by herself.
And they are my cheerleaders. They know I can't sing, and they will sit right there. They will sit right there and
cheer her on.
They you sure think will. And that's why they're in my circle. That's
singing like Whitney Hutton. Sounded just like Whitney Hutton.
We don't know that's supposed to be Whitney Houston, people. I can't know, y'all probably don't know.
No, if you watch Martin, Whitney Hutton. Oh my goodness.
Woo.
Yeah.
Oh, it's getting hot in here. You look in here and all is hot.
There goes a headache. My face hurts. My head hurts.
And this is why they're in my circle.
Yes, thank you for being part of my circle. Thank you for being
part of my circle.
So, with that being said, I'm going to get into the no good, no better.
No good, no better.
So, in what we discussed, I believe this is I statement that, or I feel that the circles that you have, you should cultivate them and make them something that you don't mind seeing down the line. You don't mind reminiscing about down the line. Those circles in your life should be mirrors of you that should build you up into the next great person that you are. Having the women that I'm with, the women that I associate with in my circle, they challenge me to a higher level of self. I think I've said this before. And I think you should have those people who do that for you as well, that they should never see you or they should never meet you where they left you.
Ooh.
Yeah, they should never meet you where they left you. And if you're in a circle, if you have a circle of people, and when you walk into that room, you don't feel any kind of inspiration coming from them, it's time to find a new circle.
Wow.
So that is my no good, no better.
Wow, that is a powerful no good, no better.
Thank you.
And so everyone knows that after no good, no better, I do my quotes of the day. And it could have something to do with what we talked about. It doesn't have to. Today, we are in luck. It has something to do with the topic of the day. And my quote is, if you look at the people in your circle and don't get inspired, then you don't have a circle. You have a cage.
Yikes-a-bee.
If you look at the people in your circle and don't get inspired, then you don't have a circle, you have a cage. And Nipsey Hussle said that. Some powerful words, right?
Those are some powerful words right there. For real.
That's if you look at the people in your circle and you don't get inspired, then you don't have a circle, you have a cage, people. Nipsey Hussle said it. He said it. That was well said. Well said.
Yeah, so rest in peace.
Rest in peace, Nipsey Hussle. Look at the people that's in your circle. They should be inspiring you. They really should be inspiring you, like these young ladies inspire me. And with that, we'll say thank you guys for watching. Thank you. And we will see you next time when we met on this or that. Bye-bye. See you soon.
Thanks for being great. Have a great one. Bye.
14 K.